Hi, everyone. Welcome to the latest of the Overboard Network, a Below Deck podcast. We're back with episode 17 of Below Deck Med titled The Fall Guy. In this week's episode, Kyle takes a spill. The interior works double shifts. Dave and Tosh stay cold as heck. And guests finally get off the dock here. Weather helps. So, Sean, I really think we have to start with Kyle. This is probably the biggest part of the episode. I think we're going to spend a ton of time on this. When I heard the sounds and moans coming out of his mouth when he fell, I thought either he was near death or he at least lost a leg. Turns out it's a rolled ankle, and he'll be fine in a couple of days.
Yeah, but John, when Natasha and then later Natalia like run to Sandy's door, like get up, Kyle's dying, like right. That was they react. They were that's their reaction to him because those were the noises he was making, and Sandy gets out, is like not into it whatsoever. Takes a look at Kyle. It's like, all right, go to the hospital. Let's get an X-ray done. We'll get right to the bottom of this. He's so dramatic. And like John, I'm not saying like I'm the toughest guy in the world. I'm not, but I've rolled an ankle before. I worked on it, like like a standing job, like a job similar to Kyle's. I've worked through it. It does suck. It does hurt a lot. And yes, you should be off of it. But I don't know, man. His pain tolerance is all over the place.
Yeah, man. When you like, I would just say like when I roll an ankle, or probably when you roll an ankle, there's a couple swear words. There's like trying to walk it off. If it's real bad, like realizing like you just got to get home, and then just like putting some ice on it, putting compression on it, and then probably going back to whatever you have to do the next day. Like ideally, not a ton, but like you get back to it. And like I even like tweeted out before the break. I was like, imagine if this is just a sprain. Unbelievable. Like,
and it wasn't even like a high ankle sprain is one thing. This is like, what is it? We're not doctors. Rolled ligaments though, so a rolled ankle. Yeah,
he rolled his ankle. I guess it's a strain. I don't know where that fits in the thing, but it was just like I couldn't believe it. And you know, this whole episode, it just made me realize why I'm like, okay, that Kyle's leaving.
Yeah, to anyone who's never rolled their ankle before, NBA players will do this, and then they'll tape up their ankle and play a full NBA playoff game. Like it's you can work through this.
To be fair, Sean, Kyle blew up one balloon and cleaned up probably the mess he made the last day.
Yeah, actually, John, that's actually the most important part of the episode is. So yeah, like, you get the X-ray, it stinks. It's painful. You get just zero effort out of Kyle this entire charter.
I will say Kyle did an analysis to figure out what is the least he had to do for the rest of the charter in order to like still get the tip. And that's basically what his game plan was. Like, it was just like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lie in my bed. I'm going to give people motivation while in my bed. And I'm going to go out there, put on a brave face. Hopefully people say they're sorry. And then I'm going to like blow up a couple balloons. So if at the tip meeting, they're like, well, Kyle didn't do anything, he doesn't get tip. He'd be like, the balloons though. Like two of those were me.
That is true. We watched him blow up the two balloons. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Natasha kind of mentioned you could just do laundry.
That's what I thought. I was like, laundry is like a 2 foot by 5 foot space. Like you can like sit on a chair and like put stuff in the laundry and fold stuff and iron stuff. This isn't exactly like a tough task. I mean, I can't iron, but that's not because I have a bad ankle.
Yeah. So I feel like we're going to get that out of him. No, he was just in bed the entire time, except for when he blew up a couple balloons, and I think he swept up something. No. So then, finally the last day, Natasha just goes to Sandy and is like, hey, I think Kyle's done for this season. Now, was that wrong of her to say that? I feel like that should have come from Kyle, right?
I think he probably was like, yeah, I have to stay off this for 7 days. and like he had, you know, been in what, like his bed for 2 days at that point. So they pulled a 20-hour shift. Like he's not going to go from bedridden to like being able to like go up and down stairs. And so that's just like at that point you just can't.
So Natasha doesn't do that if Kyle like tries a little bit. But
Right. That's correct.
She
That's
knows
correct.
she's getting 0 out of Kyle. Like he's doing the full 7 days of bed rest.
Yep. He was just trying to milk the gravy train for all it's worth. So
Oh man.
I'll tell you, the funniest thing about Kyle, even on the way out, when like he was basically like, it was after the tip meeting, and they're like, Kyle's leaving us today. And I love how he was like, so is anybody going out? Like to basically say like, hey, I know I did nothing the last like 2 days, but I'm down to get drinks if you guys go out tonight. Which is just like, just shows the worth ethic this guy had. I mean, yes, he can be a hard worker and he can have good work ethic. He can also have terrible work ethic and can be a very lazy worker. And so those are almost the more frustrating guys, because like, they can do so much more and yet they just choose to do nothing sometimes.
Can I say he's also making up stereotypes to fight against? You brought up that there's 2 stereotypes of not being tough, or associated with being gay and working interior is not being tough.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gay. I'll take his word for it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. What does working interior have to do with being tough or not? Like, I don't
I mean, at the same time, it was also, I'm worried about being seen as soft and getting sent home. And then also being like, well, if you need me, I'll be in my bed for the next 2 days. So
oh man, what a guy.
Real tough.
We've seen other people work interior that have worked through injuries before.
Yeah.
It's not like,
I feel like if somebody always like hurts a hand or something like that throughout the season. Now, maybe a hand's a little bit different. You still got like a couple fingers, whatever.
I'd rather hurt an ankle than a hand.
Yeah, probably.
I think every job in a boat is a 2-hand job.
Yeah.
So I guess Kyle is gonna go to a hotel for the next charter, then come back for the last night out.
Is that what Sandy said? Because I don't like, why would he just be like hanging out for like 3 days to then have like one dinner with him?
Because she said he's off next charter, but he's not fired from the boat.
I kind of took that as in like, he's not getting fired, but he's no longer on the team. Like he's a team member, but he's not with us anymore.
I think he says next time you'll see him, he'll be walking off that boat. I think I know that makes 0 sense for the show. Kyle's going to come back on for the final night out and he'll be perfectly back to normal.
Yeah.
And John, I agree with you. This is very stupid. He should get a plane ticket home. That's what Captain Lee would do.
Didn't like Francesca fire someone like after the last charter?
Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was. I guess they didn't know there was
because
one
that's COVID.
Left.
Yeah,
yeah, but they didn't. There was one charter left, and she's like, "We have to fire you." Like, unbelievable.
I do. Tip of the cap to Natasha. I know I kind of was like, "Hey, should that have been Kyle's decision?"
Yeah,
but I guess she put 2 and 2 together. He's not going to try, and like, I feel like other chiefs would be like, "Whatever, me and Natalya can make it," and she's like, "No, this is we need 3 people on this team."
Well, they clearly made it. Like they were working 20-hour shifts. They
made half a charter. Yeah, they're like, never again. Yeah.
Honestly, the only way they got away with it was because they were at the dock. So like the crew didn't need to be like 100% involved with like, they had like some water toys out for a little bit, but it was easy on the deck crew. So like Courtney was helping out, Z was helping out, all those things. Listen, Kyle at one point was one of my favorite people. But he is like a guy you got to take in doses. I think too much of him is like, even on TV, or I don't know. Maybe he's playing it up for TV, or if like this, he's like this, like high and low, like in real life. But like you got to take this guy in doses.
Yeah. This is also a very long season of Below Deck.
What are we do? How many episodes? I mean,
I
are we gonna do 20 episodes plus a reunion?
right, because this was 17.
Yeah.
I think with a reunion it'll be 20. Yeah, what like this is I think this is a pretty good season, but I don't know if it's 20 episodes good. I think we could have edited it down to like 16.
We should have definitely cut it down to 16.
Keep the 4 with Reagan. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
Those are perfect. But beyond that, we could have did a couple of nips here and there. I don't.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding why this is 20 episodes, especially when you have like I actually looked at the ratings, Sean. So these guys are not doing that great. Now I didn't look at this week's because like it aired an hour ago. And I know Peacock's a factor, but they're doing like 800,000, and like Below Deck Down Under is like in a non-prime spot doing like I think like 400 and something thousand, and
That-
they already aired like 6 months ago on Peacock.
Yeah. And Sailing Yacht was doing well over 1 million.
Sailing Yacht was doing great. Sailing
Like
Yacht got nominated for like a daytime Emmy or something.
People's Choice Award.
People's Choice Award. Yeah. So go Sailing Yacht. I feel like we had a little bit to do with that. Honestly.
I think so too. And then like we're Adventure is about to come on tomorrow night, and then Below Deck Legacy's coming back. There's plenty of Below Deck. Like this season didn't need to be 20 episodes.
No, and I think that is the formula going forward. Like honestly, if you it doesn't sound crazy to like if there's let's say Down Under picks up and let's say Adventure picks up, we've got 5 going. I'm not saying you make them 10 episodes, but like because then you'd have 5 series, 10 episodes every Monday you've got covered, except like whatever like 4th of July falls on or Christmas or something.
Yeah,
right. And maybe that's a formula going forward, but I mean, honestly, if I had 16 of Sailing Yacht, I could do for 20 of Sailing Yacht. We'd be fine.
Yes.
But let's get back into this episode.
All right. So that's not a series wrap on Kyle. I think we'll see him in a few episodes, but that's a working season wrap on him.
That is, yep. Something that isn't wrapped, but I probably wish it was, is the Dave and Natasha. Whatever the results of their former fire, apparently there's still some flames for Dave at least. He's like, oh, I'm in love with her. And I'm like, listen, I only know what they've shown on tape, but nothing about what I've seen backs up why he should be in love with her.
She's not reciprocating it at all. Where they were fighting over who was supposed to order what at the beginning of the episode. Yeah. Sandy walks in like, you guys got to get me through the next 2 charters. And look, Dave, also Sandy just called Dave out for the first dinner of this charter. It was like, that was slow, the paella.
Yep.
And like Dave kills it the rest of the episode. Like, not a shocker. We knew he would. But it's not over. I mean, not to spoil next episode, but Dave gets a call from Natasha's ex-boyfriend.
I don't even want to begin to think about that because, like, Natasha has like webs going on, and somehow she'll play the victim, and so I'll bring that up next week. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
but you are right. Dave does kill it the rest of his charter after the paella incident. I guess the guests didn't put on their preference sheet that they don't like fish. But they don't like fish is the answer. Turns out maybe they do though. So I don't know if they just never had fish, or I think one of the primary co-charter, whatever, says
Catherine.
Catherine's like, yep. She's like, oh, I used to have fish on Fridays, good Catholic in her, I guess. So I just think it's weird if like what did they write? Like their like accomplishments. Like I would literally just write like the type of booze I like and the type of food I like. I'd be like, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you know anything personal about